Hello students, let us discuss AVL search tree in this video lecture. So first let us try to understand what is a AVL search tree. A AVL search tree is basically a binary search tree, which means that it has to fulfill the requirement of the binary search tree, which is all the nodes in the left subtree must be less than the root value, all the nodes in the right subtree must be greater than the root value. So an AVL tree must also meet this basic requirement. For example, if you are given these set of numbers and you are asked to construct a BST, you can simply construct a BST like this. So 9 is the root here, and you have got 8431 as a left nodes and 10 as right node. This is a proper and valid BST, but it's not an AVL tree because an additional requirement for an AVL tree is that it should also be balanced. So only if a BST is also balanced, then it is called as a AVL tree. So you can see the difference between the two trees here. Both are BSTs. Both the trees are having the same set of values and both are BSTs. But the one in the left is not balanced. Its balance factor is not. When you call as a tree as a balanced tree is that when its balance factor is in the range of 0, 1 or -1. But in the given example, the tree is not balanced, whereas the second example given in the same page is actually balanced because its balance factor is 1, 2, 3 plus 1. So the way to calculate the balance factor is we have to find the balance factor of the left subtree and the balance factor of the right subtree, and the difference has to be either 0, 1 or -1. So if you compute the balance factor for this example, it will be 3 plus 1 4, which is the left, and 2 plus 1 3, which is the right. So the difference is 1. So it is a balanced tree, and so it is also an AVL tree. Because the BST given here is balanced, we can also call it as a AVL tree. Not only that, it's not just about the root being balanced. An AVL tree must also be balanced at every level. So if you have to check whether every node in the tree is balanced. So 12 has to be balanced, 18 has to be balanced. So in that way, only if at every node level the tree is balanced, then it is called as a AVL tree. So this is the basic of a AVL tree. An AVL tree is just one step ahead of the BST, that it is also a balanced tree. Now what is the advantage of being balanced? The advantage is search time. So when a BST, the main application of BST is search. So whenever we want to store a large volume of data which needs to be searched multiple times, then BST is preferred because we can apply binary search. If you want to improve the performance of the search, then we may better opt to go for a AVL instead of a normal BST, because AVL gives much better search performance than the normal unbalanced BST. So if you want to locate 8 and 14 in the given tree, it takes only 4 comparisons. Similarly, locating 20 and 52 also requires 3 tests. So in other words, the maximum search effort for any tree, any AVL tree is in this given example is either 3 or 4, which is nothing but O of log n. So this is the time complexity of binary search. So if you want to achieve that equivalent in a binary search tree, then make it balanced and construct an AVL tree with the given values, then the search performance will be O of log n. So that is the primary reason why AVL tree is going to be made use of whenever we want to represent data and also we want to conduct a search using that tree. Especially when you have more number of nodes, when the list is larger, when there are more number of values to be represented, moving for a AVL tree is going to be very effective. A definition: an AVL tree is a binary tree that is either empty or consists of two AVL subtrees the left subtree and the right subtree whose heights differ by no more than 1, which is it's a 0, 1 or minus 1. And we can see that the previous we already discussed that the previous example is a balanced one, and so it is a AVL tree. Okay, now this is another example, an AVL tree which is having 42 nodes, and as I told you, it has to be balanced at any level. So it has to be balanced at the root, and it also has to be balanced at every subtree level. Only then it can be called as a AVL tree. Let us take another example. So we have to find out whether the given tree is balanced or not. If it is balanced, then it is a AVL. If not, it is not a AVL. So here, if you calculate the balance factor from difference between the left and right subtree, it has to be 1 0 or minus 1. So 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 1 4. So the difference is minus 1, and so it is a balanced tree. And it is also balanced at any level. So here we have the balance factor as 1. So nowhere we could see the balance exceeding 1, and so it is treated as a balanced tree. And even though it is a balanced tree, the difference between the left subtree and right subtree need not be 0. It is acceptable to be even minus 1 or plus 1. So this indicates that even though the entire tree is balanced, it is slightly higher in the case of right subtree. So RH indicates that this particular node, which happens to be the root, is right height. That means that the right node is one step ahead of the, or one node having excess of the left subtree. Similarly, here it is LH, which means that the left subtree is one node higher than the right subtree. So in this way we can classify every node, and in this particular case it is marked as even high. That is because it's equal. Both the left and right are having equal height. So in such case it is treated as even height. Otherwise it is either left height or right height. And this is an example of a tree which is not balanced. So the reason that this is not balanced is that at node 20 the height difference is minus 2. Remember carefully that the whole tree is balanced, because if you calculate the balance factor of root, it is 2 plus 1 3 here, and here it is 3 plus 1 4. So the difference is only 1, in fact minus 1. But it is still not an AVL tree, because as I already mentioned repeatedly, we must ensure that at every node level this balance factor is maintained properly. So in node 20 it is not proper, its balance factor is minus 2, and so this cannot be treated as a AVL tree. These are various examples of the balanced trees. So you can see that the balance factor is at any node level is either 0, 1 or minus 1. Now the next aspect is that what if the tree is not balanced? So how to make it balanced, especially whenever we try to add a new node into the AVL tree, it may become unbalanced due to the insertion. Similarly, when a node is removed from the AVL tree, that could also cause the AVL tree to become unbalanced. So after insertion and deletion, we must check whether the tree remains balanced. If not, we have to alter the tree so that it becomes balanced again. So that is what we are going to learn hereafter. So how to make a tree to become balanced again after an insertion or deletion. So balancing of trees. Whenever we insert a node into a tree or delete a node, the resulting tree may or may not be balanced. So if it is not balanced, then we have the responsibility of rebalancing that tree. and for that we will be using the technique of rotating the nodes. So rotating the nodes either from left to right or from right to left is the technique that will be employed for balancing the tree. So this is the simplest example for you to understand what do we mean by rotating. So you start from the first tree, which is only a BST, not an AVL, because here the balance factor is 3 minus 1. So 3 minus 1, 2. So here the balance factor is 2 and it is not a valid AVL tree. Now in order to make it balanced, we can rotate it like this. So 1, 2, all the nodes in the left side are rotated one node towards the right, which results in this particular case. So this is a rotated tree out of this original tree, and now you can see that the tree has been balanced. So this is the basic idea we'll be using to make the tree to become balanced. Rotation. All unbalanced trees fall into one of these four cases. So we are going to deal with the four possible cases of unbalancing, and each case it requires a different approach for making it balanced. Though the idea of rotation is going to be involved in all the four, but how do you rotate it is going to be slightly different in each of the cases. The first case is that left of left. That means that the left subtree is having excess node. So the left subtree is having a node that is excess than the right, which results in unbalancing. The second is right of right. So here between the left subtree and the right subtree is having the excess node, which causes the node to become unbalanced. These two are simple cases, but the third case is slightly more complex, which is right of left. So here the nodes in the basic unbalancing is in the left subtree, but within the left subtree there is a unbalancing in the right. I will show you the example in order to, I mean, so that you can clearly understand this. In the same way, the situation can also be the opposite, left of right. So let us just wait for an example to understand this particular unique problem. We will start with the basic problems, which is left of left and right of right. After understanding it, we will try to understand the next two. So these are the left of left cases. So what do you understand here is that if you calculate the balance factor of the left subtree, it is 4, whereas the right subtree is having the balance factor as 2. So which means the difference is 2, and so it is not balanced. So to make it balanced, and we as we saw in the previous case, we just have to rotate it towards the right side, which means that y will be pushed into the root and z will be dropped as the left child of y. So that is what is shown here, and the tree has been tilted towards the right side. So this results in the tree becoming balanced. So we have got a balanced tree out of an unbalanced tree, and we did the rotation towards the right, and the reason that we rotated towards the right is that the case is left of left. If the similar situation happens in the right side, we will do the opposite, that is rotating the right subtree towards the left side. That's what is done in the given example. So here the balance factor is right high, RH. So we have to rotate it towards the left side, and you can see the outcome of that rotation. So y has reached the root, and z has been made as the left child of y. And one more important point you should note down here is that, see here y had a left child, y had a original left child, which is t2. Now when you make y as the root here, z is going to occupy the space of the left subtree for y. That's happened here. So z is going to become the new left child of y. Then what will happen to t2? So this situation will occur many times. The same logic or same formula we can follow is that that we can treat it as an orphaned node. So let's call it as an orphaned node. Whenever we make a node as a new root, if that node contains either a left child or right child which is going to be removed, it's called, we can call it as an orphaned node. And the orphaned nodes are always adopted by the previous head, previous root node. This can be just blindly followed. So whenever we find an orphaned node, we have to attach it to the node that was previously the root, or the one that is being deposed by the new root. So in our given example, Z was the previous root node which is being replaced by Y. So any orphaned child of the Y has to be attached to the Z. That's what happened here. So T2 has been adopted by node Z, and now the tree has become a balanced tree. Now we are going into the third and fourth cases. So it's a right of left, and you will also come across the same thing mentioned as a left right case. So if you remove the off, if you remove the word off, then it can be written as left right case, but both means the same. Let us use the term right of left because it makes a proper sense for us to easily understand. Right of left means that the tree is unbalanced and the unbalanced happened in the left subtree, but within the left subtree there is unbalancing in the right subtree. Look at this example. So you calculate the balance factor of the left subtree. 1, 2, 3 plus 1, 4, whereas this side it's only 1 plus 1, 2. So there is a difference of 2, which means it is unbalanced, and it is unbalanced in the left subtree. But within the left subtree, that is left subtree of Z, we have unbalancing in the right subtree. So Y having unbalancing in the right subtree, so that is what we refer as right of left. So overall from the root level the left subtree is unbalanced, but at the level of Y the right subtree is unbalanced. So it's a combination of two cases. It's not purely left of left or right of right. It's a combination of left as well as right. So that is what the uniqueness of this particular case. So whenever we come across this situation, that is a right of left case, we have to rotate two times. The first case is we have to rotate at Y level to make it left of left problem, that is conventional problem or known problem. So whenever we have the right of left problem, we have to first convert it into left of left case like this. So what we did here is that we just rotated this node towards the left, making X as the new root and Y as the left child of X. Once again we have that situation. There is going to be an orphan for the X, which is T2, and the same solution T2 gets adopted by Y. So we have, and now you can see it is left of left problem. Now the problem is it's a common problem which is left of left, and we know what should be done for that. uh, uh, Rotate the entire left subtree towards right, which results in this case. So this tree is now balanced. So let me just repeat again. The problem of right of left happens when there is a unbalancing in the left subtree looking from the root node, but somewhere within the left subtree we have a problem in the right subtree. So we have to first convert it into a left of left problem, and then we have to resolve it using the rotation of the left subtree towards the right. So that's what is shown in the given three steps. So this is the original tree, and when you first may convert it into left of left problem, this is the result of that, and finally when you balance it, it becomes like this. Same thing we can also have come across the situation of left of right. So if you had understood this one, you can just mention the meaning of the other one. without referring the given example. So the left of right would obviously mean that we have a problem in the right subtree. We have a problem in the right subtree, that is the right subtree is excess, but within the right subtree there is a problem in somewhere in one of the left subtree nodes. So this is an example where the left subtree is having height 1 plus 1 2, but the right subtree is 1 2 3 plus 1 4. So the difference is 4 minus 2, which is 2. So here it is the reason that this is called as a left of right is that the overall problem is in the right of z, which is right of root, but within the y we have problem in the left subtree, so it's called as left subtree. And the solution is also very similar to the previous one. You just first transform this into a right of right problem. That is done with the help of rotation. So the entire right subtree at node y is rotated towards the left, so which results in x becoming the new root and y is dropped to the right side of x, and there is going to be an obvious adoption of which node. It is y is adopting the t3, so t3 is adopted by y, and the node has been, it is now right of right problem. It is now right of right problem. So we know the common solution. uh, Rotate the entire right subtree towards the left, which results in this particular balanced tree. So these are the four possible situations we could come across, and the solutions are also revealed now. And these are some examples of the problems left of left. And here the problem is left of left because the height is in the right subtree is 1 plus 1 2, whereas the left one is 2 plus 1 3. So the difference is 2, and so it is left of left. Similarly the second example also. Now we have an actual example. So let us assume that we are asked to insert 4 into this binary search tree as per the original order, logical order of 4. So as per the logical ordering of 4, 4 should be inserted as the left subtree of 6. That is the correct place for 4. So it's inserted here. But we have to check whether it remains balanced. But it is we have to calculate the balance factor at every node level. So if you calculate the balance factor at 7, it's a 2 plus 1 3, but here it is 1. So 2, this is not balanced at node 7, so we have to make it balanced. And this is a for case 1, left of left. So we have the balance unbalancing in the left subtree. So it is a simple case where we have to rotate the nodes at the up to 7 towards right, because see, we should not rotate always at the root level. We have to rotate it at the node where the first unbalancing occurs. Starting from the leaf, we must identify a node that is closest to the leaf node where there is unbalancing. So if you start from 4, 6 is balanced because the difference is 1. 7 is the node or the first node where there is unbalancing, and you may have unbalancing in upper nodes also, but that must be consequence of the unbalancing of 7. So we must address the problem at the lowest level. So 7 has to be tackled or attacked. What we have to do is we have to rotate this. So this becomes, so this is the finding we have got. Even though 8 is also not balanced, we should only try to solve it at this level, because if you solve it here, 8 might automatically be resolved. So we are going to deal with the 7. So rotate right, because it's now left of left problem, so it becomes like this. It's a simple case, and if you recalculate the balance vector, it's now balanced. So we have resolved the problem. So after inserting 4, the tree has been once again restored into a AVL tree. Again another example, insert 19 into this. So check whether it is now balanced. It's not balanced, you can see. that at this node it is not balanced. And what type of problem is it is? It is right of right problem. It's again a simple problem. So we have to rotate all the nodes towards left at 15 level, because 15 is the first node where there is unbalancing. So this at this level we have to rotate. Since it is right of right, the rotation should happen towards the left. So this will become, first 15 is pushed down, and then 17 is brought up, and it has become like this. And you can also see the adoption. So 16 was adopted by the previous root node, which is 15. So it becomes like this, and it is now balanced. And this is another small example. So 3 4 5. The question is that whether it is balanced or not. We have to calculate the balance factor. So the balance factor of the left subtree is 0 plus 1 1, whereas right subtree is 1 plus 1 2 plus 1 3. So the difference is 2, and this is not a balanced tree, unbalanced. The next question is that what type of unbalancing is present in this case. It is right of left, because it is left of right. So because at the root level, the problem is in the right subtree, that is the excess height is in the right subtree, but from 4 the problem is in the left subtree. So the problem is right of left, and we know what should be done for that. So right of left requires two steps. First make it right of right, and then resolve it by rotating. So which will become, so now it is right of right problem, and we have to now rotate it towards left, making 5 as a root. So it's now a balanced tree. Same way, this problem is now the opposite, which is left of right. It's now left of right, and the first step is make it left of left, which will become 3 2 1, and now rotate towards the right. So 2 3 2 1 3. This is the simplest example for us to understand the left of right problem and the right of left problem with the solution. Now we can try some bigger examples. So let us check whether this tree after insertion of 6 remains balanced. So we have to calculate the balance factor, and the balance factor shows that the tree is not balanced is at node 7. So we have to deal with the 7, and what case it is right of left. So because it is right of left, we have to do the two steps. First step is make it left of left. That means that we have to rotate the node like this. So it has now become left of left. Once it has become left of left, then we have to deal with it. So we have to check at which node we have the unbalancing. So here it is balanced. Here also it is balanced because the difference is 1. At 7 it is not balanced because there are 3 edges or 3 branches in the left subtree, but only one in the right subtree. So the difference is 2. So we have to do something to balance it, and the step is simply rotating right. So we have to rotate all the nodes at the up to 7 towards the right side, which will result in this modification. So step 1, and then we are pushing all the nodes like this. So it has become like this. And now if you recalculate the balance factor, it has to be within that range of 0 1 or -1. So it's now a balanced AVL. Again another example, insert 10 into this tree. So logical position of 10 is supposed to be right child of 9. But now the question is that is it balanced now? I guess it is not balanced. If you calculate 1 2 3 4, there are 4 branches here, but there are only 2 branches in the right subtree. So it is not balanced. The next question is that what type of unbalancing? We have a problem of left of right, because the problem is in the left subtree of the root, but internally it is a problem in the right subtree. So it is left of right, and we have to first convert it into left of left problem. For that we have to rotate at this point of node, so which will be resulting in, so we have it has been rotated like this. So to make it into left of left problem, we have now rotated at the 6, making 8 as the root of the subtree. So step 1. Now it is a left of left problem, and so we have to rotate it towards the right, which results in, this is the final balanced tree. So these are various examples we have seen, and the last example is insert 23. What will happen if 23 is inserted here? It is going to become a problem of right of left, because 1, 2, 3, 4, whereas here it is only 2 edges, so the difference is 2. So we have to deal with the problem as a right of left. So the solution is the same one. First convert it into left of left problem. That means that we have to rotate up to 12 towards left, which makes it like this. You can see what happened here. So 17 has been pushed into the root, 12 has been dropped into the left child of 17, and 27 will continue to remain associated with the 17, and 23 is also in the same position. Now if you recalculate the balance factor, it is obviously left of left problem, but where exactly we have the problem is 12, because as I told you, we should rotate at the node which is closest to the leaf node having the unbalancing factor. So if you calculate the balance factor starting from the leaf node, the first node which is having unbalancing factor has to be attacked. So 12 is the first node. For 12 the balance factor is 2, 0. So the difference is 2. So we have to deal with the problem at node 12, which means we have to rotate here. So it will result in, so 12 is becoming the left child of 7, and 7 becomes the new root, and once again the adoption is needed because 7 is having both left side and right child. So it is going to be handing over the right child to 12. So it becomes like this. And now if you check, the tree is still unbalanced at the root level. So we have to do one more step, which is rotating at the root level. Now the entire tree will be rotated towards the right subtree. So the root will be now replaced by 17, and we have to do one more major step, which is this 27 and 73 will be connected to 36. That is just based on the same logic we followed. Whenever the new whenever a node is promoted as a root node, its excess child will be adopted by the previous parent or previous root node. So 36 is the deposed, or the one that is going to be replaced as from the root, and that is the one that has to take care of the orphaned nodes of 17. So it becomes like this. And if you recalculate the balance factor, it's now balanced everywhere, and finally it is a balanced AVL tree. So we have seen a number of examples for understanding how to convert a given AVL tree after insert into a AVL tree again. We haven't yet to see any example on deletion, but the idea is same. Whether you insert or delete, after insert and delete, you have to recheck the balance factor at every node. Only if the balance factor is in the range, in the expected range, it's a we don't need to do anything. But if it has either become a -2 or greater than 2, I mean 1 or less than 1, we have to tackle the problem. And we know that the problem is, first we have to identify the problem, as a left of left or right of right or left of right or right of left, and accordingly we must follow the procedure to make it balanced again. There are some more examples available, so which is just for our reference. So now that we have learnt the manual way of dealing with the problem, we will next learn the algorithms. So how to construct the algorithm for these operations. So what is the algorithm for the insert operation and the algorithm for the balancing of the AVL tree after the insert operation. So that is going to be covered in the next video lecture. Thank you.